Hey there, comic fans. As always, I'm Scott Harris King. Today, I'm really excited. It's the final day for my new Kickstarter campaign for Cthulhu vs. Uncle Sam numbers 1 and 2. It's not just the final day, it's actually the final hour. Yes, we're counting down the last 59 minutes and counting to when this Kickstarter ends. Now, those of you who have been around for a while, seen my previous videos, seen my previous Kickstarters know that we've published these before, but basically the bunch of things came together and it was time to do a new campaign for these. We basically sold out of both issues 1 and issue 2, the regular version. So it's time to do a new printing, but also I've been doing these 5th anniversary variant covers for the last year for all of my comics that I put out, and I really wanted to do Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam covers. So it just made sense to do that for the new printing. Also, these variant covers are limited to just 100 copies printed for each. January and Kickstarters make 100 month. So again, everything came together and it was just time to do a new campaign to reprint Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam number 1 and number 2 with all new covers. Plus, and here's the big exciting thing, I don't think I've announced this officially yet here anywhere. We are currently working on issue 3 of that series. It's been 2 years since the last issue came out, so this seemed like a great way to remind people that the series is around, get some renewed interest, find some people that maybe missed it the first time around. And so everything just came together and it was time to do that. So what I'm going to do here is first I'm going to just show everyone the campaign. Anyone has any questions, go ahead and ask. And I'll answer all your questions and we'll talk about the future of Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam. We'll talk about the future of some of the other titles that I'm working on with Crime Buster Comics. And we'll just have a grand old time until that clock hits 10. So let's take a look at the campaign here. And here we are. There's the campaign. Let me hide this so that gets a little bit bigger. Okay. And as you can see here, let me just refresh this to make this sure this is the most up-to-date, up-to-the-minute data possible. But we've got 57 minutes left to go. We currently have 53 backers, and we're at $1,724 funding. Now, the goal was only $500 this time. So first of all, I want to thank all 53 of you backers. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it very much. I can't wait to get this comic out to you. We do have a few returning backers that already have these issues, but they're coming back to get the new covers. So thank you so much for doing that. And also welcome to all the new backers. We were able to do such a low goal this time because this has been printed before. So my cost this time basically to print the new comics and then ship them out. And the exciting news is for anyone who has backed, or if you're thinking about backing, is that I've actually already ordered the new comics, the new versions from the printer. I'm just waiting for those to come in the mail. I've already given the go-ahead. We've checked out the proofs. Everything looked fine. So my sincere hope is that by the time I get the money from Kickstarter for this, which usually takes about 2 weeks, hopefully by then I'll have the books in hand and I'll be able to immediately fulfill everybody's pledges. Now, of course, sometimes things get outside of my control in terms of the printer and the shipping or whatever, but that's my hope, is that no later than the end of March, I'm hoping everybody will have all their rewards. So you can back with confidence. You're going to get this and get it quickly. And also you can back with confidence because this is my 17th Kickstarter campaign. All 16 of my previous campaigns have been backed, fulfilled on time across the board. It's super important to me. I never take for granted the support and the trust that all of you give me with your money. And so it's the most important thing for me is to make sure you get the best comic you can, but to get it on time. So anyway, that all being said, let's take a look at the campaign real quick for those who aren't familiar with Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam. I mean, for a lot of people, just the title will kind of give you the idea. But if you're not familiar with Cthulhu, or if for some reason you're not familiar with Uncle Sam, I mean, Cthulhu is a giant evil squid dragon monster from another dimension, sort of outside of time and space. He's this ancient elder godlike being of kind of pure evil. And for some reason, people keep wanting to summon him into the world, and that's what happens here when the Cult of Cthulhu tries to summon Cthulhu to win World War II in 1944 and 1945. It's up to Uncle Sam and his band of friends and heroes to stop them. And each issue is 32 pages, so that's a total of 64 pages of full color action. Let's scroll down and take a look here. Here are the new variant covers that I mentioned. Now, these are my Crime Buster Comics 5th anniversary covers. I've been doing this for the last year, so now we're into year 6 of Crime Buster Comics. So it's taken a little while to get them all out, but as you can see, they're done in the style of the classic Marvel 25th anniversary covers from 1986, which came out when I was a kid. So I've been doing these for all the comics I've been putting out for the last year. We still got a couple left to go. I'll show one of them to you, or maybe both of them to you later once we go through the campaign. But this is what you'll get. You can get the set of both of these for a special discounted price. And one of those other covers yet to come is for issue 3. So if you get this set, when issue 3 comes out, you'll be able to get a anniversary portrait cover variant for issue 3. So you'll have the set all with the matching anniversary covers. Here's the back cover. If you're a fan of professional wrestling, we've jammed this with as much cool stuff as we can. Like, there's time travel, there's giant robots, there's aliens, dimensions, and weird monsters, and sorcery, and steampunk airships, and talking dogs, and it's got everything. And one of the things it has, again, is pro wrestling in issue 1. So if you're a wrestling fan, you'll definitely want to check this out. So here's one of the wrestling posters. This is actually the back cover. There's a matching front cover, which you'll see in a minute if you want the wrestling poster variant. But here's a sneak preview of the covers. You can see Jay Piscopo is the artist for issues 1 and 2. And he really knocked it out of the park. Great, vibrant colors. It really gives that sort of golden age action feel. He is was an animator by training. And you can really see that in the motion and the energy here. I see we have a guest. Let me just put this up here on screen. Emmanuel says hello. Scott, great to see the campaign come to a successful end. Emmanuel, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate that. I know it's really late where you are. I appreciate all the support with this and everything else over the years. Thanks so much for watching. We're just going through the campaign right now for people that maybe aren't familiar with Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam, showing some of the artwork. So here's some of the pages from issue 1. First 5 pages will get you into the story, but I added some extra pages to the preview here because, it's about Cthulhu. We want to get the part where here's Uncle Sam's been captured and they're about to sacrifice him to Cthulhu, and there's Cthulhu showing up here. So you have to read the rest to find out what happens next. But then we also have issue 2, which they're both self-contained stories, so you can read each of them individually. You'll get the whole thing. And here's issue 2, where we start off with a new character. This is Ike Reeves, the lone gun, who's a private detective who's searching for a missing person, and he stumbles into a weird conspiracy. Here's some Migos, these flying demon monsters, and they encounter this weird hive mind that the Cult of Cthulhu is doing, and for some reason it's sapping Uncle Sam's powers. So our heroes have to travel back to 1776 to find out what's gone wrong with Sam's American Dream-based powers. It's sort of about the American Dream versus Cthulhu, who's known as the dead, dreaming nightmare god. So it's about contrasting visions of what dreams are versus nightmares. But we also have stuff like this, where it turns out the Statue of Liberty is a giant robot that's been put. There's a failsafe against an attack by Cthulhu, and here's the Statue of Liberty battling out with Cthulhu. So we tried to have as much fun as we could with this campaign as we were working on it. It just we want to have fun with the comics. When you're having a concept like Cthulhu fighting Uncle Sam right off the top, I mean, it seems ridiculous, but that's the fun of comics. You can do stuff like that and just have a lot of fun. So again, we just packed it with everything we could think of that was just fun and cool. We also have some cool, fun variant covers. So I love to pay tribute to classic comics of the past. Adventures into the Unknown was the first ever horror comic. Came out, started in 1947. And so the series ended a long time ago, back in the 60s. But we have special variant covers here by Ryan Mendoza, the artist from Miskatonic High, who, of course, as from the title, you could probably guess, is known for drawing Cthulhu stuff. And he's done variant covers for both issues where we sort of revive the Adventures into the Unknown logo and numbering. So here's issue 175, which is the first issue. Second issue 176. You can get the set of those. And those are also limited to just 100 copies each. And those, we don't have as many of them because those are also available the first time we did these. Also do these propaganda poster covers. So issue 1 has the Cthulhu Wants You cover, which of course is based on the old Uncle Sam, army poster from World War I. And then we have the Keep Calm and Cthulhu Fthagan, which is based on the obviously the British World War II propaganda poster. So again, we just have a lot of fun with the series. We also have a special bundle deals. If you've missed my other comics in the past, I've done 13 comics so far. That's 6 issues of my series of Crime Busters, 4 issues of Quest, 2 issues of Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam, and a romance comic called Geek Love. We have these special catch-up bundles. You can get the whole set of everything, physical for $99 or digital for $45. And here's just a little gallery with all the covers. And it's really exciting for me to see this because kind of, when you're working on this stuff, it's very solitary and it takes months and months and months and months, years sometimes for each individual issue. And you just sort of have your head down, you're plugging away, and these Kickstarters can be really hard sort of grind, but it's super gratifying to see when you look back what you've been able to do. And again, I need to thank all of the backers who have made all of these possible. So I'm really excited to have this much done. It's over 400 pages of comics now that we've done. And later on, when we'll get into what we're doing later this year, I've got some stuff to show you there, but we've got new issues coming out of all 3 ongoing series. There's also a bundle where you can get all of the anniversary covers so far. That's both issues of Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam, Crime Busters 6, Geek Love 1, Quest 3 and 4. Those are all the ones that have come out so far. So if you just want to collect the set of the anniversary covers, you can do that. And I love having these. The more they come out, the cooler it looks to have them all together. So I'm really excited to get this. That's why I do a lot of this stuff. It's stuff that I think is fun. And I am a collector, so I make stuff that I think is cool to collect, stuff that I want for my own collection. Luckily, other people seem to like that stuff too. But a lot of stuff that I do is essentially stuff that I want, the kind of stories I want to read and the kind of comics I want to collect. That's what I'm trying to do here. A bunch of add-ons. This is the first time we ever had original art available. We've had a couple of the Quest issues we have as well, because these anniversary covers by Samir Samau, he works traditionally, so ink on paper. And so he sent me all the originals, and these are actually claimed, so they're not available anymore, but they look so cool in person. They look so cool in the black and white. So I was really excited to be able to give fans the chance to get these original art pieces because they're so great. And then on the flip side, if people don't claim them, it's great for me because I get to keep them on display in my house. But we also have a few premium variants. These are really limited editions from previous issues. I mentioned the wrestling poster cover, only 50 copies of that printed. We also have the Fantastic Fear. That's issue 2. The wrestling poster is issue 1. Fantastic Fear is issue 2. But of course, it's homaging of Fantastic Four #1 cover. There was only 25 of those printed. Most of them have been sold. So I think I only have a few of them left, maybe 5 or 6. So I know there's people that collect Fantastic Four #1 variants. So if you're one of those people, or you know some of those people, now's the time to get it, because I only have a few of these left. I also did a while ago some blanks for Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam #1. I still have some of them. So if you want to have a sketch cover, I'll do it. I use colored markers, so they're nice, bright, and vibrant. There's no logo printed on it, so that allows me to use the old National Comics logo. I can't print anything with that because it's under trademark, but if I'm drawing it by hand, I can. So again, that was something where I wanted to have a National Comics, 76 in my collection, but I couldn't print it. So that's available. So I've made those available as well. And we got sketch cards, trading cards, mini prints, bunch of stuff like that. So that's pretty much the campaign. If anyone has any questions, just let me know. But it's really exciting to bring this back out, and it's exciting to see the response from people. Again, there's a lot of people that didn't see this. It's been 2 years, so there's a bunch of new people on Kickstarter that weren't here the first time. They're picking it up and stuff like that. I can see we've gotten a backer since I started talking about it. So thank you so much to whoever backed the campaign. I really appreciate it very much. And just, really excited to sort of getting back into this world. It has been 2 years since issue 2. So I'm really excited that we're working on issue 3 now. I've got something that's really exciting is, you can see how cool these covers are from Samir. And what's exciting is that Samir is going to be drawing the interiors for issue 3. So he's already working on page 7 as we speak. So there's a ways to go, but we're making a lot of headway. And my sincere hope is to have Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam #3 out before the end of the year. So what I'll do is I can show you some Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam #3 stuff, because I also have one of the covers. I'm still playing around with the graphic design. So the masthead, the logo, stuff like that may be different, but the basic cover itself is done. So this is by a guy named Manuel Bracchi, who's just fantastic. So let me show you this here. It's going to take me a second to bring it up and then share it. Let's see. I'm going to share that now. Can anyone see that? Can you guys see that? There we go. How about that? Hopefully everyone can see that. The graphics are a little bit weird at my end here when I'm trying to share it. But you can see this awesome cover. Hopefully you can see this awesome cover, Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam #3. Again, this is Manuel Bracchi. And when we did issue 2, I did a poll of the readers, and across the board, people wanted more Golden Age public domain superheroes. They wanted more female characters. And so we're getting that here, because as you can see, smashing through the wall to save Uncle Sam here is War Nurse, who I've significantly redesigned. But I'm really excited for this here. And it's just exciting to sort of get back to this world and be telling these stories here. Let me show that. And since I'm showing you stuff from issue 3, let me give you a little sneak peek of some of the pencils here for issue 3. Just give me 1 second here. Here's a really good page. Okay, here we go. So here's one of the pages from Samir. You can see that Cthulhu's giant foot is about to crush these people, and then Uncle Sam jumps in at the last moment and holds it up. I love this this panel down here in the bottom left of Sam straining to hold this up. Yeah, I mean Samir's just been absolutely killing it with the art on this. It looks awesome in black and white, but once we get all those sort of bright golden age style colors in the book, it's just going to be fantastic. So really excited for this. Can't wait to share it with everybody. Again, don't know exactly when that's going to be out, but hopefully by the end of the year. At the rate we're currently going, assuming Samir doesn't have anything come up and is able to keep going at this rate, I'm hoping he'll have the pencils done by sometime in May. Then I'll need to get it colored and whatever. But sometime late fall, early fall, late fall, sometime in the fall, I'm hoping to have this out. So again, really excited to be able to bring this to life. All right, well, we've got, let's see, 39 minutes left. Let me bring up the campaign again. All right, I'll scroll back up here. 38 minutes officially. Let me refresh that. Sometimes it doesn't automatically refresh. 38 minutes to go. You can see we're at 1749, 54 backers. So again, thanks so much to everyone who has chosen to support this. I can't wait to get this stuff out. I'm really excited for this year coming up. So for those of you who have backed any of my other things, basically what's going on is I just finished sending out all the copies of Quest number 4. Just a couple weeks ago. And so I've also been working, though, to get the next batch of things ready to go. So for those of you who are reading Crime Busters, who have been backing my series, The Crime Busters, following that, there's been a long delay with issue 7. We had it almost finished. 31 out of the 36 pages were drawn at 6 months ago. And then something happened with the artist. Unfortunately, he had some sort of family emergency or something. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to finish it. And so I eventually did hire a different artist to finish the last 5 pages. The good news is that there's actually a reason in the story for the art to change. And so while you'll notice the art change, like it's not completely seamless in that sense, it'll make sense in the story for the art to change when it does. So from a storytelling perspective, it'll actually add a little something to have the art switch. So that's one benefit, but this is a book that I was hoping to have out 6 months ago. But the good news is it's done now. So Crime Buster 7, all the line art's done, all the flats are done, so the base colors. And so that, and almost all the variant covers are done as well. So I've got some really great variant covers coming up here with some great artists, including one from Manuel Brackey, who I just showed you, that Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam number 3. Let me bring up his Crime Busters cover. So basically what's going to happen is as soon as this campaign ends, I'm going to try and get the pre-launch pages live for some other stuff. Now, Crime Busters 7, the pre-launch is already live. We currently have 75 followers. Once that gets to 125, we're going to launch. So I have some more marketing that I need to do, but that book is basically ready to go. It's not the only book that I have ready to go, though. So let me just show you this variant cover for Manual I was talking about here. I'm still playing around with several things here with different trade dresses and stuff like that. So I don't want to show you this with the logo or anything, but you can see how awesome the art itself is. Well, you will be able to see it once I exit out of some of these things so I can show it to you. So here's this fantastic art from Manuel Bracchi. This is going to be one of the covers for Crimebuster 7. I may actually use it as the regular cover, and the cover I was previously planning on using as regular cover will become one of the variants. Still working on that, but it just looks so great. I love Manuel's work, and I'm hoping to get more covers from him because everything he does just looks so great. It's got that sort of Bruce Timm sort of animation look to it that's perfect for Crimebusters. So again, Crimebuster 7, the pre-launch is live. Let me just share that link with everybody. Let me just share the link here. Just remind you that the covers here aren't exactly finished covers. They're works in progress. But here's the pre-launch for Crimebuster 7. So as soon as we get to 125 followers with Crimebuster 7, we're going to launch that book because it is ready to go. The other one that's ready to go, though, is quest number 5. Now, I don't have the pre-launch page ready for that. I have to wait until this current Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam campaign ends. But once this ends, I'm going to get the pre-launch for quest number 5 ready. That's also ready to go. All the line art's done. All the flats are done. I just have to finish the lettering and some of the shading on it, which I'm in the process of doing. And so basically, I'm not sure which of those is going to be the next comic that comes out. It's either going to be Quest 5 or Crimebuster 7, but it's just going to be whichever one we get to 125 followers first. So there's sort of going to be a race for that to see whichever one gets more support pre-launch fastest will go, and then after that campaign's done, the other one will launch. So that's sort of the schedule of events for the year. It's going to be either Quest 5 or Crimebuster 7, those two in one order or the other, and then after both of those are out will be hopefully Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam number 3. So let me show you. I've actually got another cover already done for Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam number 3. So why don't I show that to you as well? Because I mentioned it once already. It is the 5th anniversary variant, and it's got fan favorite character Granny Gumshoe on the cover. So here we go. Show you this here. So here's the 5th anniversary variant cover for Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam number 3. Again, Samir Samau, who is doing the interiors for issue 3, did this. It's one of his best. It's absolutely great. And so this will be available again as part of the campaign for issue 3. You'll be able to get the set with all the matching covers during issue 3, and then we'll also have the original art for this cover will be available during issue 3. So again, hopefully we'll have that this fall. I'm really excited for that. And then we'll see. We'll go from there. Once those 3 issues are out, I'm currently drawing quest number 6. I guess that's an announcement for those of you who read my stuff. Basically, I had commissioned the first 5 issues of Quest quite a while ago from a couple different artists. Issue 5 is going to be drawn by Marcos Lima, who did issue 1 of Quest, and he's fantastic. But I have this backlog. He drew that for me over a year and a half ago, and I still haven't had time to get it out yet because we had to do the other ones first. But I've decided to draw quest number 6 myself. And so I'm currently working on that. I'm drawing issue page 7 right now. So while all these other campaigns are going, I'm going to be in the background drawing, working on quest 6. So my hope is to also have that out this year, but it's going to depend how these other campaigns go. If it does come out, it'll be the end of the late fall. And then next year will be set up to be really exciting because we'll have the Quest Volume 1 trade paperback and things like that. But really excited for that to be back drawing. I'll have some other announcements soon regarding some stuff I'm going to be drawing as well, not just Quest number 6, but my focus now is to sort of, we've got this a little bit of a backlog now of like completed books that I can't wait to share with you because I'm very excited about them with Quest 5 and Crime Buster 7. So that's going to be the focus going forward. But here again, here's the cover, one of the covers for Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam number 3. If anyone has any questions about any of the stuff I'm talking about, I'm happy to answer any questions about anything. And let's go back to the campaign itself for Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam, because we're inside the last half hour here. And let's see how that's doing. I think we're still in the same place. 28 minutes to go, 54 backers, 1,749. Very, very happy with that, and very happy and thankful for everyone that's backed the campaign. The last hour, I always do these live streams to count down the last hour. Most of the time, we don't really have much activity, but when we do have activity, it can go both directions. I've had some campaigns where I've had a bunch of people cancel their pledges in the last hour. Other times, we have a bunch of new people come in the last hour. So it could go either way, but we're in really good situation here with the campaign. So even if it stays the same, very, very happy with where we are now. What I'll do is I think I should mention a few other campaigns, because I'm not the only person doing Kickstarters. Actually, the indie community on Kickstarter is quite small. It doesn't seem small because when you go in there, there can be like 200 to 300 comics live at a time. So it can seem like, a little bit overwhelming. But once you're on there a lot, like I am, you start to see the same people over and over again. And through cross-promoting and other things, talking to people online, I end up, sort of making a lot of acquaintances and friends. One person I just had on my campaign, on my YouTube channel that I interviewed was Roy Johnson, and he has a campaign live right now. I talk a lot about his campaign, Sentinels. So let me just show you this here. You see they're at 99 backers. They hit their goal, which is great. Still have 5 days left to go, though, so still plenty of time to back Roy with the Sentinels. And I think a lot of people that like my comics would also enjoy Roy's, because there's some overlap. Basically, his series of Sentinels is what if a bunch of these Golden Age characters, if the publisher of those Golden Age public domain characters hadn't gone out of business and instead had been part of the Silver Age superhero revival, what would that have looked like by the time the Bronze Age came around? So basically, he's writing and creating these comics as though it's 1984, and it's just like going to a spinner rack in 1984 and picking up an issue of a book that you've never read before. And so there's this whole like 20-year history inside the universe of all these stories and back issues and stuff, which were never actually published, but he has like editor's notes and stuff like that to all of these fake issues of the Sentinels. And so it's just a lot of fun, and it's very nostalgic for me because it I started reading in 1984, actually buying stuff off the spinner rack. So reading the Sentinels really gives me that vibe. I mean, it really brings back what it was like to do that. So I have all the issues of Sentinels. Back to issue 10, I have the first 9 issues. Originally, they all had numbering to go with the conceit that I just mentioned. So the first issue was issue 267. Now, I guess not everyone understood the concept, because he's gotten enough complaints about that he's actually renumbered them. So like the new issue is issue number 10 instead of being issue 276. But I love the numbers. Like, I was totally my vibe. So I'm happy that I have the old printings with the high numbers, because that was part of it for me. But anyway, Sentinels, Roy Johnson, again, currently live on Kickstarter. Let me just see if I can find a couple other people that were on here that I want to give a shout out to. Don't have their links immediately handy, but I can try and find it here. That's not actually even out yet. So let me show you this one here. This is a little comic called Tokyo Blade Detectives, and this is you can see there that I'm in the background of this, but this is, as it says, it's an anime style comic series. It's this guy's love letter to anime, and but specifically like 80s and early 90s anime. And it's got all the stuff you would expect from that, people in like, special suits to give them powers, and people with swords and like high-tech ninjas and all that sort of stuff here. You can see he's in issue 9. It's really exciting for those of us who've been around a while. Kickstarter has tons and tons of comics on it, and new creators are coming to Kickstarter all the time with new titles and new first issues, and not that many people stick with it. There aren't that many creators that keep going, and so Roy's on issue 10. He's Tokyo Blade Detectives is on issue 9, and there's this sort of wave of people that started around the same time I did that have stuck with it. Ben Lacey's Shark of War just had issue 8 come out, and so you're starting to get people that are getting into double figures, that 10 issue mark. Like Nightwolf, I think is right around issue 10, and I haven't. It's going to be a little while before I get to issue 10. I was just thinking about that today. I think it's probably going to be 2 years. I think in 2027, if everything still goes at the same rate it's been going on, which is a big if, but knock on wood, if I'm still doing this, able to do this in 2 years, I think we might have a situation based on how fast stuff is coming out, where I might have Quest 10 and Crime Busters 10 come out back to back. So that'll be really exciting for me to get some titles, not just one, but to have 2 titles in double figures will be really exciting. But there's not that many titles. So you see Tokyo Blade Detectives, issue 9 is out now, and I know he's still chugging along on this. So I just wanted to give them a shout out for, following the dream. There are even fewer people in Kickstarter that are actually making any money. I'm not making any money on any of this, and most of the people aren't. There are a few, there's a few that do pretty well, and there's a few that are at least making a little bit of money. But the vast majority of us are just trying to put out cool stories, right? To see people that are just that passionate about comics, they just keep doing it because they just love the medium so much that they just have to put out these comics. That's what's exciting for me. So those are just a couple of campaigns I wanted to share, because they're people like me who are just putting out stuff because they love it. Making money would be great too, but so one thing I'm toying with, I think I might as well show you here, is with Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam 3 now coming out, I'm basically going to have 3 ongoing titles now. We're going to have Crimebuster 7, Quest 5, and Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam number 3 all coming out this year. And it's been suggested to me that it's time to maybe do some company sort of branding. Like a lot of people have a company logo or a unified design to all of their books. So you can see like, here are the books from this publisher, right? So I have been playing around with some ideas. So let me show you this, and maybe even if you're watching this later, not just for the people watching live, but if you're watching this later, you can give me a little feedback. If you like this sort of idea, it's not going to look probably exactly like this. I'm working on some tweaks based on some previous feedback, but I'm curious what people think about the idea of doing sort of a unified design for all of my covers. And here's a look at what this might look like. You know, my comics do have a bit of a retro feel to them. You know, Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam is a lot of Golden Age characters set in the 40s. Crimebusters is teen detectives, kind of like a Scooby-Doo vibe, but it's set in the 50s. It has that Nancy Drew feel. And Quest is really trying to capture that Bronze Age, you know, Conan, Red Sonja, Warlord sort of feel with Dungeons and Dragons has just come out. So it's like, no, it's very like 1979 in sort of the aesthetic that I'm going for. And the storytelling style. I'm definitely Bronze Age in my storytelling style. So I want the covers to have a bit of a retro feel. I've played around with some much more modern looking designs, and it just doesn't feel right to me. But, you know, pros and cons, I'm still tweaking things. I've had some people seem to like this. Some people like the idea of them all having a unified design, but they don't like this specific design. And I've been getting a lot of sort of mixed feedback. There's no real consensus so far. But here's just an idea of what it might look like, what the releases for this year might look like if we end up doing sort of a unified design, something along these lines. I mean, the other option is to not do that. I could easily just put a little Crimebuster Comics logo on it. You can see all of these have one of those little circles there, you know, is a little Crimebuster Comics logo. I could simply add that and leave the rest of the design as they are, in which case each of the 3 titles would have a different design aesthetic. They'd all just have the logo on it. But this would give it more sort of like, again, like to make it feel like all these are connected because by the same vision, which is me. And I kind of like that. But on the other hand, I kind of like the designs that I was already using for Crimebusters and for Quest. So I'm a little bit hesitant to deviate from them. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You know, whoever's watching, whenever you watch this, if you want to leave a comment down below or whatever, tell me what you think. Do you like the idea? Do you like this specific design? Do you think I should tweak it, do something different, just not do it at all? Keep going the way I've been going. Curious to see what people think about that. And again, I have been playing around with a lot of different designs with this, quite a lot. Some of them more successful than others. But you know, that one so far is probably the closest. So I've been working on different iterations of that to see where it may take me. And let's just go back to the campaign again. Oh, we got a big backer came in. So thank you to whoever just backed. I really appreciate it very much. It's just really gratifying to have support from everybody. I love making these comics, and I love sharing the comics with people. So like, you know, again, it's not about the money because I'm not actually making any money on my comics. It's really about just trying to put out the coolest comic that I can. And so getting the opportunity to get those comics out to people it's really great. And it's a great feeling. So I can't wait to send this out. And again, one thing that's really great about this particular campaign is everything is 100% done, since, it's a new printing of a book that's already been completed. So that means that as soon as it gets into the printer already ordered, I'll have that sent out. The PDFs will go out, not immediately, because basically Kickstarter takes about 2 weeks to send the money. And since this is a Friday night, it'll be a little bit longer. So looking at about 17 days. And then once I have the money, that basically locks in who's going to be getting it, because there's always people after the campaign who drop pledges because their credit card doesn't work, or, whatever. So I have to basically wait for that process to end and then send out surveys to everybody to get your addresses and whatever. But as soon as that process is over, so again, about 17 days, I'll get the money. I'll send out the surveys probably just before that, and by that time, I hope to have the books in hand, so that as soon as everything is done there, I can immediately turn around and start sending out the rewards. The digital rewards will go out right away, and then the physical rewards should be just a matter of a few days, and we'll get everything out the door. So and then you'll be able to read all the comics. So it's really exciting to have the chance to share that. We've only got 12 minutes left on the campaign. So if anyone has any questions about Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam, this campaign, or issue 3 that's coming up, or if you have any questions about the Crime Busters, or you have any questions about Quest, feel free to ask me anything. Got some really great variant covers coming up for Quest that I'm really excited about. Issue 5, again, is the only things that aren't done in terms of covers for both Crime Busters 7 and Quest 5 are variant covers that I draw myself, because I've been so busy with everything else. Everyone else has gotten their variant covers in, so we're pretty much ready to go. I have to do the Boy Comics variant for Crime Buster 7. I have to do the RPG variant for Quest 5. But other than that, they're pretty much ready to go. So as soon as, again, I'll be sharing the pre-launches with everybody, but as soon as we get to whichever one of those books gets to 125 pre-launch followers first, we'll be launching very shortly after we hit that number. The other thing I'm going to do once this campaign is done, because I can't do this while it's live, is I will be getting the pre-launch page and link ready for Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam number 3. Now that, again, that's going to be a few months, but I want to share that with everyone as soon as I can, to build on the momentum here and get everyone excited for issue 3, because the art from Samir is really cool looking. So I want to get everyone stoked to see that, and having that live for a few months will give me a bunch of extra time to really promote it, and hopefully have a really good, successful campaign whenever it is that comes out. So I'm just going to get a drink of water here, talk amongst yourselves. Feel free again to ask me any questions, comments, concerns. Doesn't have to be about any of my comics. If you just want to, whatever, feel free. So, getting down into the last 10 minutes here. Sometimes with these campaigns, I'll end up bringing in guests, other people that have campaigns live. I didn't do that this time. Maybe I should have, so people can have something else to talk about other than just me rambling on about all my stuff all day. But yeah, we've only got a few minutes left here, counting down the last 10 minutes. Everything's on track. I mean, one thing I didn't mention is bring this back up here. Whoops, hold on. We don't want to show that. Okay. Is the stretch goal. So, I mean, I had announced the stretch goal at $2,000 is going to be 2 trading cards. We're not going to get to 2,000. That's fine. I love doing the trading cards. So we may end up doing the trading cards or one of the 2 trading cards anyway, even though we technically didn't hit the stretch goal because the campaign's done really well. So, I want to reward everybody and give everyone, all the cool stuff. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to crunch numbers once I get this done and see if there's some extra money that I can do those trading cards with again, or at least one of the trading cards. The trading cards that I announced were going to be one from Crime Busters and one from Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam. The Crime Busters one is a character called John Force, Magic Agent, who appeared in Crime Busters number 3 and will be back at some point in Crime Busters. And then also Lou, who is the little girl who may or may not be Granny Gumshoe's granddaughter. She's the pilot of the airship. She's the only character in Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam who doesn't already have a trading card. So I think what I might do is even though we haven't hit the stretch goal, I might do that card. John Force was just something because I want a John Force card, but it doesn't necessarily make sense for this campaign anyway. That's something that we can wait till initial Crime Busters probably. But I think it makes sense to do a Lou trading card because again, she's the only character in these 2 issues that doesn't already have a trading card. So we'll probably do that even though we haven't technically hit that stretch goal. I think I'll go ahead and do the card. And as just sort of a bonus thank you for everyone who's backed the campaign. Those have usually a pretty quick turnaround from the printer. So what I can do is I already have the front of the card designed. I'll design the back of the card real quick. I already know what's going to be on it because the back of my trading cards are always sort of world building. They're information about the characters or whatever that isn't necessarily in the comics, but it's extra bonus stuff about the characters. So I'll have some stuff about Lou I can put on that, and then I'll order that from the printer this weekend, either tomorrow or Sunday, and it'll be here by the time I'm ready to ship out the comics. It'll be here, so that'll be fun to do that. It's been a little while since our last trading card. We haven't really been hitting the stretch goals and quests that would have unlocked the trading cards. So I think that'll probably be the plan. So again, for those of you who have backed, if you were wondering about that stretch goal, even though we technically haven't hit 2,000, we've done really well. It's a lot closer than I thought we were going to get, to be honest. So we'll do one of the 2 cards anyway, even though we haven't hit the goal, and there'll be a little bonus for everybody. So hopefully people will like that. So we got 5 minutes left here, and I'm going to just get another drink of water. So please, again, feel free to talk amongst yourselves, or you can ask me any question you might have about anything. One other thing I wanted to mention here. Let me stop sharing the screen for just a second. Let's see. My wife says, maybe you could tell us a joke because you're standing against the classic brick wall. That's a good idea. What's the deal with Kickstarters? I mean, these people making comics. That's my Jerry Seinfeld impression. I got one more thing to share with everybody. I'm just calling up the page so I can share it. Okay, it's Indie Comics Creator Con. Now, this is just 3 weeks away. Saturday, March 15, 2025. Now, this is in New Haven, Connecticut, and it's a huge convention. There's going to be over 170 indie comic creators. That's people like me who make our own comics, self-published indie comics creators, like real indie people. Again, over 170 of us are going to be in New Haven, Connecticut. This is the second year for the show. Last year was great. This year is much bigger. So they've built on last year's success. There's more rooms with more comics and more creators. I'm right in the main hall this year. Last year I was in the hallway that you had to walk past me to get in the room. But now I'm in the room where it happens. And I'm really excited for this. I'll be there. So if you're going to be up in the Connecticut area in New Haven, it's only, whatever, an hour or a little more than an hour by train from New York City. So if you're in New York or any of that area, you can get there with the old public transportation. Come on up and see me, and you'll see all the other awesome indie comic creators that are doing cool books. Like it says 150 plus creators, but it's actually over 170. There's going to be panels. You can just see some of the big name creators that are going to be here, like Jim Rugg and Dean Haspiel. Heather Antos is going to be there. Like, there's a lot of big indie names that are going to be there. So I'm really excited for that. I like doing shows. Actually, I don't get to do as many of them as I want, but I really enjoy them. And that's, I was there last year for the inaugural one. It was great, but I'm really excited for this year. I think it's going to be even better. It also gives us a reason to go to Connecticut, where my brother-in-law and his whole family live down there. So we'll be seeing them while we're there. So it's just a great show. So again, if you're in the Connecticut area, the New York area, you got to come on down. So here we are. We're in the last 80 seconds and counting for this campaign. Again, thank you all so much for your support and for spending the last hour listening to me just ramble on. I really appreciate it. Usually we don't have any activity in the last minute. And if there is activity in the last minute, I think one time I had someone in the last 2 minutes cancel a pledge, but for the most part, we're pretty much done at this point. It's been a great campaign. Really, really pleased. And again, thank you everyone who has backed and pledged and supported. It's really awesome. And we'll get these books out to you right away. And again, come see us, not just me, but all the other creators in Connecticut in just 3 weeks at Indie Comic Creator Con. I forget, it's at a university there. It's not Yale, but it's at another college, Southern something. Anyway, it's in New Haven. There's a lot of cool restaurants and shops and stuff in New Haven as well. It's a cool place to visit, a nice college town. So come see us there. Here we are, the last few seconds. There it is. Campaign is ended, successfully funded. So again, thank you everyone so much. You'll be hearing plenty from me about my upcoming campaigns. Again, we're going to have at least 3 new issues this year. Crimebuster 7, Quest 5, Cthulhu versus Uncle Sam, number 3, And then we're hopefully going to get more than that out. We'll hopefully have Quest 6 out at the end of the year too, but we'll see how it goes. So very exciting. And yeah, just thanks so much. I think I've spoken enough, so I think I'm going to call it a day. Oh, here, my wife has this Southern Connecticut State University. That's where you can come see us. So hopefully I'll see you there in 3 weeks. Again, that's on March 15. But for now, thank you all so much, and go read some comic books.